welcome back. Welcome back to the Raisins Exhaust Show. It's been a while. It's been a long while. Where have I been at? I've been struggling, man. Just been struggling with the pressure of doing big jobs and trying to fit that in with the time scale of having a newborn baby. Nightmare, absolute nightmare. But I've had a fair few big jobs to clear off. They were from start of year, flipping long way through now, aren't we? We're in end of July, so 7 months have gone by. Got all them big jobs done. We had, I can't even remember what they were, but I had enough working over Christmas, and I said to the customers, I'm having a baby in March, just leave bikes with me. I'll get them done at some point, hopefully they'll be done, like Martha, she's called Martha, she's not a baby anymore, she's called Martha. She'll be born in March, and I'll have then a couple of months to get them all finished off, and then I can start booking working. Well, it's still mayhem. I've still got millions of people, not millions, but probably an handful, 10, 20, 30 people that want to book in, but I have no idea when I can get them done. Because at the moment I've got this is one of them Ducati classics. Don't ask me why, someone's just customising it. The guy likes customising these Ducatis, and to me, I just think this is one of the nicest bikes they ever made, Ducati. I think it's one of them full red fade classics. Don't know if they've got the gold forks on. Could be an half fade one, but either way, the full fade ones, the half fade ones are so nice. One of my favourite bikes. This guy's going to put a new seat on it, new tank on it, wants some pipes to match. He's a perfectionist. I've seen his bikes are immaculate, so he wants a perfect set of pipes for this, which is going to be hard work. Hardest bit about it is I've got to float these silencers first. I've done the front pipe. I did the front pipe, come over, did the back pipes down the bottom. Basically, he wants like a scrambler pipe to start off with. Whip that one over the top of the case in there. Then drop some pipes down the back, join them into a U-pipe at the bottom here, then into these two original Turnomi cans. I did that, the cans were in the wrong place because they were mounted on the original, and they're not original brackets. Where have they come from? He's called Randy Martin, the guy in America. Can't think what his business is called, but he makes titanium exhaust pipes for Ducatis in America. He obviously makes these brackets as well to hang the silencers with. And the silencer was too far back. Customer wants them moving in, so I've chopped a chunk off. When I first did the pipes, like I say, they were back here, and customer didn't like. I didn't like it either. There was too much of a big gap here. You could see right through it. So I've trimmed them back, and now they're floating because I've got no front pipes to hold it. So customers made me some bits for reference points. This piece of wood, I think, is a joiner. Some other bits of wood that I can block in there and stuff. My plan is I need to get these tacked on, these alley brackets tacked to these alley bosses while floating these megas in mid-air, which would be easy enough to do if they were just like lying flat down there, but they're not. They're that steep of an angle that you can't balance them, you can't prop them up because they're constantly trying to slide down. So that's the plan for today, is to try and get them done. And I thought, fire up the camera, get you on video, because otherwise I'll just keep looking at it and not doing it. And now I've told you on camera that I'm going to do it, I better do it. So yeah, I've trimmed them. I'll move you on in. I'll move you all on in. You can have another look at my t-shirt. Let's try and unclip you. T-shirt's still not coming anytime soon, because babies and that. I've even contemplated, let's get you a bit of focus in. I was talking to Wiz Norton, and Wiz Norton's decided to get their t-shirts just made. When you phone up, order one, they don't go to Wiz Norton and Wiz Norton sends to you, they just come from the t-shirt supplier. I've contemplated that, but then it's like pointless, isn't it? Because you're only going to make a tenner on a t-shirt anyway if you did them yourself, and then if you get someone else to do them, you're only going to make a fiver on a t-shirt. I'm not that bothered about making money, but it'd be nice to make a little bit more money, wouldn't it? So right, so here we are. This is it, lovely bike, what a lovely bike. Other big jobs I've got in is what I forgot there, a Black Shadow to do 5 sets of pipes on, and a Benelli 6. So we just need to get this off the bench and then we can get cracking on with some other ones. So that's floating here. This is my customer's little guide. He come down and he had another look at it and he decided he wanted them to go a bit further in. So now these guides don't really work, but I'm using it just as a bit of a reference. I've got a bit of pipe there. It's a scrappy bit of pipe I've made just to try and join the 2 pipes together, so I've got something to hold it in place. Then I've got this piece of string wrapped around the seat to either mega to try and just hold them in place, but also just to try and get them level. They look fair level on camera there, don't they? If you look to the front to the back, they're not too bad. Like that, and then I've got these like blocks of wood I need to stick between the wheel and the megas to make sure that they're both the same distance apart from the tyre. Oh, what an hard job. That one there, it's just really hard trying to get that bobbin into that gap. I'm going to lift that one up there into that gap, the other one drops down on the other side, the mega. So I'm just like slowly trying to eke them up. I think what I'm going to do is just jack them both up on back so they're not in the place they need to be, but then I can get them tacked onto there, and then obviously once it's tacked on I can just rotate it around the bolt and just bring them back down. So almost get them that U-pipe that's joining them both together there to point down lower than it should be, get that tacked on, and then lift it all back like that, and then remake that U-pipe. I think that's going to be my plan. But yeah, I've not welded alley in a while, so that's going to be another one of my problems. So what I need to do is shape that. The original boss were a lot smaller. That's 1.25 inches, and I think the original one were 1 inch. So these come together, these 2 bars. But now because I want to pull them out, the way that they're rotating around the bike is that they spread apart. So I decided to make that a bit bigger. It now follows the back of the silencer bracket a lot better, fills up a lot of that space. And then I just need to, I think I'm just going to run one in perfectly on the top, and then run one in. As you see how that is, it's nearly flush. That one just wants to come up a little bit, and that one wants to come down a load. And then there's a little bit of a gap. But yeah, then it's just like it runs down that bracket, round that one, and back up towards that bracket. That's the plan. But yeah, like I say, I've not welded aluminium in ages. This is my old beast of an aluminium welder, so I need to get that fired up, make sure that that works. Move this big roll of wadding, drag the bottle over, and then I'll show you the old bosses. These are old bosses. We're not getting no focus, and we need another hand for focus. But yeah, that's the old boss. And obviously, my plan is, because that's the same round bar, roughly it's going to take the same amount of heat-ish in it to get that hot enough to melt the 2 together. I'm just going to have a go with that. I'm just going to put that there, see if I can lay a bead down that, I suppose. Maybe see if I can run a bit of a bead round, just maybe run a bead all the way across the top. Just see what it welds like before we go on to tacking that. So that's my plan for now. As you can see there, I've got my bendy bit of pipe out. I can show you roughly where that's going to go. I say I've already done a pipe for that. So that's gonna go on. That's going to run like that. The original pipe runs out, down, across and in. That's how the original pipe runs, and then the back pipe just runs down into it's got a similar issue to this, but it just like drops down, goes into that one, and then there's a branch pipe comes across into this one. And obviously it just looks a bit too standard, doesn't it? So he wants to jazz it up a bit, but yeah, what a lovely bike. And then I've got mine out there behind it. Or you can kind of see what a standard pipe looks like. Mine's got one on it. You see what I mean? Just drops out straight across. And that's roughly the same thing, because then the back pipe comes out of there, joins into this cap, and mine's just got one big tailpipe, goes up into these Turinelli cams at the back on it. Weirdly, same bike really. I think that's a 1000 DS engine in it, and that's an 1100S engine. but pretty much the same thing. Nice to have them both out on show. So that's me for now. Let's go and fire up an aluminium welder. I'll say I've not done that in a while, so it could just be a bit poppy and farty, and I'll have a play. Let's see how we get on, and then if I get them tacked together, I'll get it back out and we'll have another look at it. But for now, let's just get a little bit of work done, and I'll update you soon. Nice to be back. I'll see you all soon. Right, guys, welcome back. Yesterday was a write-off. If I said I was going to do a bit more video, I didn't. I spent all day yesterday messing about with alley welder. I've got this. Oh, I showed it you in the last video. Big archaic Miller 330 AB, half a ton's worth of welder over there. I think they originated them from 60s. I mean, it could be an 80s one, a 90s one, and then I think they stopped making them. They went onto them synchro waves. Anyway, I fire it up like once every 6 months, and it always plays up. Last time it was a gas switch, gets on switching itself on and off. This time it just won't throw an arc, big like jumper solenoid thing. It just won't pull that up, so I just sat there moving up and down. Now it works. It's working again. Until next time. But today I've come in and I've used it. I've made a little bracket for this, a little jig, and normally I'd just braze it together. That was the old-fashioned way of doing it. I'd just get a bit of tube, I'd braze something, and I'd have a jig. But the gas bottle's still attached to alley welder, and I couldn't be bothered moving it and messing with it, and I need it to weld the brackets onto this. So I just thought we'll just leave it set up, and I'll make a little jig out of aluminium. And what's that? That's progress. Progress is the word, isn't it? When I'm just building a little jig out of alley, who'd ever thought that? So I'll show you what I've done. Yeah, today has been better. It's been a better day. I'm totally out of focus there, but I think I'm back in focus. I put it on autofocus, same thing. I can't bother messing about with settings, so just let the camera do the work. But somewhere at the back, you can see now it's got no silencers on it. I took them off. It was a nightmare. See, after I fixed the welder, I just carried on all day messing about, trying to get them to where I wanted them. I'd go around on the other side, I'd get that where I wanted it, I'd come back on this side, and that it moved. They just kept on rocking like that, backwards and forwards. I'd get it levelled up at the back, and then the brackets weren't in the right place. I thought I'm never, ever going to get these bobbins welded on. So then I just started looking at the bike for reference points and where I could stick some bolts into it, where I could build a little jig off it, where it'd be the same on this side as it is on the other side. So if I flip this round, that little screen, we flip you round, you do a quick tour at workshop there. This is what we've got, and I'll show you a jig on the other side. So that, now, the two aluminium bits when they focus in, is how we want it. That's in the right place, I've measured it all, and that's just going to fit in there, and I'm going to try and tack it on with a big TIG welder. That bit I'm still struggling with. That was one of the problems as well. I thought if I have that on there with the silencers on it, which are them nice Turinome ones, and then I start trying to tack this on, I'm just going to burn the paint off the Mega. I think the ceramic coated, but either way I'm going to end up burning them. So then I was thinking of ways, can I stick a piece of stainless around the back of it or something like that? And then I just thought, oh, this might work. That looks super neat there, doesn't it? That's the old one. That's what I've cut off it. So I've cut that off the end. So they were down there. So we've cut a fair chunk off. Wait till you come round this side. Let's have a look at the jig. My little aluminium jig, not none of this wood we've got stacked up. So that's my jig. I've found there next to shocker mount there's an hole. There next to shocker mount there's an hole. So I've stuck two big massive coach bolts through. Cut a piece of aluminium flat bar. Drilled the holes at the right spacing. Then come off it at a right angle. These are spaced off. They've got some 30mm spacers behind it which are just cut out of tube. Then come off it at a right angle so that when you put that back on the other side and put the bobbin on the other side of it, it's in exactly the same place, isn't it, on the other side. If you look there, spacer at the bottom, it's all spaced off the shocker by 30mm, then come off at a right angle, and then this side was set up with silencer on it when I built the jig. So then I took a measurement then off the shocker spring to the back of the silencer mount, front of the silencer mount, and it was like 22 mil away. So then this was 24 or something like that. No, less than that. It was 16. 14. You don't need to know the numbers, do you? But then I needed an 8mm packer behind the back of that, so I just got 2 nuts that are 4mm thick. So stuck them in between, and now that is exactly where it needs to be. It might be up, down, left, right by like a mil or 2 or whatever, but I now know that that one's going to be the same as the one on the other side. This is how it looked when I did it on the other side. So the other side looks right, doesn't it? Now ready to take the bobbin onto the end of there. What I need to do with this side is to play about with it some more to try and get it to match up with the other side. So it's a case of keep trimming this down, trimming that one down until they meet up onto the side. Obviously this gap needs to close up a bit. I also had to do a bit of bending, so there's like a little tiny bit of a bend in it there. I pulled that back straight so that this had dropped down onto this side. Obviously trimmed a bit more off it. It needs pulling out so it's more in the middle of the boss. So that's my plan for now, is to keep taking these on and off to work out where I need to bend it, where I need to grind it. Take that one off, get that so it sits on the top, then mess about with this one, bend it, grind it, bend it, grind it, so it sits a little bit further up, so we've still got that nice sweep round the bobbin, back up. That was the plan, make it into a nice thing. So you look at that now, remember that, and the super nice jig that. You want to see, me weld on that side's not that nice. The weld on the opposite side, I think that's my first run. It were cold, obviously, the alleyway. Then when I did the other side, it's got a real nice bead on that. So yeah, when I go around the other side, the gap's on that, so yeah, it needs to come in. That's probably like half the distance of what it is on the other side. We can actually see it through the back, can't you? If you look through there. Yeah, but they're not far off, are they? They're very similar. You can see that. Oh, you can't see that. I was about to say that that bottom one needs to come up, but it looks like it needs to come down. Something along them lines, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. It's late in the afternoon, but the big alley welder over there is humming away. I want to try and get a tack on it. So like I could just bring the jig back over here now, put the boss in there, tack, well, I've not really done any tacking with Ali, but you know what I mean. Stick some tacks on it, and then I can take it off well round it. Before I do that though, I want to try and get the other side done, and then I can get these all cleaned up, because they're going to need a fair bit of cleaning for you to be able to weld it nicely. I need to take a layer off this, the oxidization off the top of that, clean up the bobbin boss bit, clean up that so that's nice and shiny, and then I can mount it back into the jig and get that tacked on. But yeah, I need to do the bending on the other side first. But before I go home, that's what I want to do. I want to get that tacked on, get the other side tacked on. I'd like to weld round them, but I don't think I've got enough time. When I come in tomorrow, first thing I'm going to do, if I've not tacked them on tonight, is tack them on, weld round them, and then we can get the silencers mounted back on there. The silencers are done. They'll tip like mad because they've got a massive silencer in end of the silencers. You know, like they're all baffled out in the end. They are very end heavy. So this end here super heavy, this end here super light. So when you put them on there, they want to tip. They just want to go and drop down onto the floor. That's why I have the string there. So I'll get the silencers on there, strings back round them, get them levelled up nicely. But that point of it there, the point of rotation, will be in the same place on either side, and then we can start working our way back. I think my plan is to get a piece of wire between the two, suss out what bend I need. It'll be similar to that one that I've been using. I can pull that out now to give you a show. It'll be similar to that, but it won't quite be that. I might even chop that up and make that fit, and then I've got something to copy off. And then from there we can wire it up to there to suss out this pipe that's going to run round and down. And we also need to run another pipe up. They're going to sit underneath here. That U-bend's going to sit in that gap. So that's all nice and tucked into there. So you won't be able to see it, you'll just see it flick up. And then you hook a pipe out like that up and round into that back port over there. and then run another pipe up, make them look similar, peel that one off and hook it over this casing, and then we're going to have the final pipe. I'm doing this back to front, normally it's the other way around. Final pipe will be this one hooked in round into the front port. Big jobs to do, but as you can tell, I'm going to try and do some daily updates, or I'm going to try and keep you updated, keep trying short, sweet, cut out the short, sweet, try and upload one each day. If I do them 10-15 minutes long, I don't have to edit them, I just stick a thing on the start, a thing on the end, bosh, send it. Basically going to do that thing where you just throw a load of shit and see what sticks in it. If you've got any advice on what you want to see, yeah, just let me know in the comments, and then when we do the next bike, I'll try and aim it that way. We'll just see. But yeah, I'm going to try and get back onto these YouTubes. I've got a couple of hours at night time when Martha's trying to go to sleep. Ashley is asleep. You know, just let Ashley get a bit of sleep while Martha sleeps. Got a couple of hours there where I can play on the computer, should be doing emails, brain doesn't really work, but if I can just stick one of these videos in, press save, sit there for 20 minutes, watch it flipping upload, and then stick it on YouTube, watch it for another 20 minutes upload, maybe do a couple of emails. I can be doing that every night, that's my plan. So for now, I'm out. I'm going to mess about with these, and then we're going to go home, get some tea, and tomorrow I'll show you that, and we'll have a little celebration. Right, I'm out of here.